Okay guys, today we're working on a Dodge Ram 3500 and we're replacing a vacuum pump. And the vacuum pump runs in between the power steering pump and the timing. So the seal in there ends up leaking on, this is a 2000. This model ends up leaking the O-ring between the shaft there. It's right in here. Right there, it leaks oil like a sieve. So we're gonna get this pulled out, and it's pretty easy. I'll show you how. I'm gonna be leaving the power steering pump in the truck. Most people take it out, like even the book says take it out, but I'm not going to. So I'll show you how to do that. So main thing is we got 4 bolts. There's one here. Take that bolt out, it should come right out of the power steering pump. There's another bolt just down below here. Just down below here with a wire loom attached to it. And then there's another bolt on the other side underneath. And that'll have to get that from underneath, and then we'll go from there. So I'll get this power steering box out of the way and I'll continue the vid. Okay guys, got that last bolt out. The last bolt that is like right there, it's really hard to get to, so I actually had to go to Canadian Tire and get a new socket set. Well, just a line of sockets, because these are actually DeWalt, and the 15, it's not as long. Like, these are like half deep sockets. They work really good, thin walled, so I was able to get up in there. And you might need some ratcheting wrenches. Stubbies are great for the other bolts. And you'll also have to, give me a second here. You'll also have to remove that braided oil line. There's a braided oil line on the bottom of the vacuum pump. You'll have to remove that, just so you can get some wrenching room. Okay guys, so we've got our power steering pump disassembled. Now we're just going to wiggle this away, like so. And I'll try and get it moved up out of the way. And I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I gotta put you down. I don't have my camera girl here today. Okay guys, I got the 2 bolts off the timing cover. Now it's just a matter of getting this vacuum hose clamp off, and we can pull that right out. So I'm guessing I'll be able to weed it through where I've got my power steering pump hung up over there. Just on the other side of the intake, I should be able to bring it up through here. And we'll show you when I get it out. Okay guys, we got what we're looking for. Now this just goes into the timing. It doesn't matter which way. You see the numbers and everything. All the gears are absolutely the same. I was going to try and just get these 2 bolts out and pull it and leave this whole part on the timing cover, well, the rear of the timing case. But these nuts are absolutely ridiculous to try and break free with no swinging room. So I opted to take the whole thing off, but at least I left the power steering in there. That saved me trying to screw with steel lines and not breaking them. But we're going to get this separated now. So it's just this bolt and this bolt here. I've already got one cracked loose, but I couldn't get the other one cracked loose. So, and the seal we want is right in here. Okay guys, so these 2 bolts that hold these 2 together, like the gear house in the actual pump, these 2 bolts are so tight, I actually had to use a hammer to smack the end of my my ratchet here to get them loose. So it's going to need a lot of pressure to get them out. So you're best off taking the whole housing right off the engine. So as you can tell, I just got these in here like so. You'll see why I'm doing that. I just got to tap this apart. Just tap that apart. You'll see a little keyway right there, and the O-ring's actually coming out. Okay, so I'm gonna get this apart and I'll show you where to go from there. Okay guys, I got it all apart, and this here is actually what we have to try and get out right now, right? And you'll see in there's a dog, right? And that just kind of floats in there, right? It feels kind of rough in there for some reason. But anyway, yeah, like really bad. Huh. But anyway, so to get this out, those two bolts that you had actually used to take it out, use these, because if you'll notice, that's a little cockeyed. So when you put these in, it makes it level, right? Now on something soft, I've got a wood shim, okay? I'm gonna use my 21 mil spark plug socket. Fits beautiful in there, like so. I'm just gonna smack her down. And there it is. Hope you guys seen that. So now we're gonna take this out. Make sure you put those nuts on, because like this is just cast aluminum, right? So we're gonna put this aside, and now we're gonna be working with this. So, and you'll notice here there's to be a little check. There should be a little square or something on here. Yep. See that little square right there? It doesn't really matter which way it goes, but that little square was facing into the housing, so we'll put it back that way. Alright, so make sure you clean that up really good. I'm going to be using brake cleaner or carburetor cleaner, and we'll get this nice and spotless in here. I just spray it out with a clean rag after I get the gist of this out. I do have a parts washer, but I've yet to hook it up and put it on the table. But that's pretty clean. It's getting there. Just because you don't want to wreck the new seal when it goes in, or when it put the thing in, it doesn't go cockeyed on you. So here is what we're looking for. This oil seal right here is what actually leaks really bad on these. So we've got an O-ring right here on the outside that comes in that kit, and we have this seal that has to come out. And this here should be able to just pull out with try not to scratch the sides, but maybe I'll use a socket. I'll use a socket on this side to get it out. Okay guys, looks like a 1-inch socket. I'm using a 1-inch 12 point. Looks like that's pretty darn good. Voila. And there's our seal. Yeah. This is what causes the whole oil leak issue. Now we're going to clean this up really good. Take this O-ring off. That O-ring out of there, the old junk. Now remember, when you take this apart, okay, you've got your O-ring around here, and that's the same way your spring load, the little spring in your gasket right there. I don't know how well you can see that, but the little spring in your gasket has to face. Okay? You gotta remember, it goes in this way, along with that groove. You don't want to be putting it in backwards, because that's what makes the seal. So we'll get this cleaned up really good and put the new seal in. Now we're putting this in dry because we don't want any sort of lubricant, so it keeps a very nice seal. Just make sure it gets in there straight. Alright. So I've got it set in there straight. And now I'm going to use like a socket that is like the perfect distance around to push that back in. Okay guys, got our seal pushed all the way down so it seats at the bottom. And what I used is my 1¼ inch large socket. I used this end and it fit perfect, and I just pushed it in by hand and seated it right down to the bottom. Cool. Alrighty, so now we got our O-ring here. I'm just going to get some grease on this. I'm going to put that on. And we'll just grease that up really good. I'm using green grease. That'll just make it nice and easy. That'll make it nice and easy for putting in. I know it doesn't look like it, but my hands are clean. Just make sure your hands are clean. Okay. And I've cleaned that out best I could. I just use brake cleaner. Guess I could do a little more so that shit doesn't get in there. Beauty. Alright. And don't forget your dog. Do not forget your dog. Because once you put this in, you're screwed. Now, I'm just putting it in by hand, just so that O-ring is not getting pinched. You see it's coming out there? Just got to make sure that O-ring does not get pinched and it goes in. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but take your time, you'll get it. Oh, look at that. Nice. Alright. Okay. So, now make sure you use a clean surface, and we'll just tap this back down. So I'm going to get a clean surface. Okay guys, so we're just putting this back in. I'm using my wood mallet here. don't want it to go too far in. We should have actually marked, maybe scribed a line on how far we took it out, but that's alright. Just gotta be a little bit of play in there. The dogs come together. Yeah, I'll just look over my last. I'll just rewind my video and get an idea of how much room I actually had. Okay guys, so now all we got is this O-ring here. Replace it with the other one. Came with the kit. We'll clean this up and then join the two pieces together. Make sure you get this key in the proper position and she'll be ready to put back on the truck. But I'm going to have a smoke break. Alrighty guys, so it's all done. To get the power steering pump on, how I said I'd show you how to put that dog in, like the shaft into the dog in the center there. All I did was like literally stick my finger in there, find out which angle it's on, spin the little wheel, slap it in, and it was perfect. So, but make sure it is perfect and lined up. Don't try and tighten up the power steering pump without it, the bracket already being flush up against it, because you'll break the legs on that aluminum bracket. So let's give her a fire up, Dan, and see how much oil sprays out. Ah!
You got any scuba gear?
Yeah, Scuba Steve. Okay. Keep an eye out for some spraying of oil.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
You spraying?
No.
Nope.
No,
Fire.
good.
We're good, dude. Alrighty, guys. We are all good. Dan took the truck to St. Thomas to go do a run for a buddy. He come back. We brought in the shop, put a piece of cardboard down under it. Shit, I forgot it outside. It only has 1 drop of oil on it, so that's probably residual from everything else, but yep. Herm's happier than a pig and shit. He, we took the truck back to his place and got a pizza and shit and come back. And so he's happy, and he's wanting me to paint his truck now. So we're just going to do one color. He doesn't give a crap what it looks like. Just as, you know, just some acrylic shit. And he doesn't care what it looks like, so he's going to bring it in. We're going to tape it off and give it a quick spray, and he's happy. Alrighty. Cheers, guys.